If you've ever looked at the University Strategic Plan, and I encourage those of you to do so, you'll find it relatively short, sharp, and surprisingly quantitative as well, which is a little challenge at times. But however, the first key strategy is very simple. It is called building supportive communities. And in a way, I believe that first strategy both is an overarching strategy to which all the rest of the strategies, which are about turning out high-quality graduates, doing research, etc., the normal things that universities do, have in a sense the generation of the ultimate value. Because unless we do get to help build the communities in which we serve. The community of the southern suburbs of Adelaide is, of course, the home community for Flinders University, even as most of you know, Flinders now is a very geographically dispersed university, contributing to many communities both in Australia and around the world. However, if here in our home community in the southern suburbs of Adelaide, we are not seen by local governments, by local businesses, by NGOs, by community groups, as assisting to build the southern suburbs of Adelaide, then I think Flinders really is missing a great opportunity. All the great universities of the world actually do spend a lot of time worrying about what they are doing in their local community. When I took on this Vice-Chancellorship, I did what I suppose most people do when you take on a new job. You read the statements of people who've taken on similar jobs. And one that has always stuck in my mind is the inaugural speech of the President of the University of Chicago. For those people who don't know, the University of Chicago was probably one of the top 10 research-intensive universities in the United States. A university with an illustrious history of research. It's where Enrico Fermi first split the atom, and there are some phenomenal Nobel laureates among its staff. This new president, about the same time I became president, spent about 2/3 of his speech talking about what the University of Chicago was to do in Hyde Park. It's not our Hyde Park, it's Hyde Park, Chicago, one of the most depressed areas of the south side of Chicago. And his message to the University of Chicago was, in the end, that collection of talent that is part of the University of Chicago, if it was not being brought to bear in helping transform its immediate neighbourhood, it was missing a great opportunity and failing in perhaps its moral duty, if not its strict legislative duty. Now, luckily, we don't have quite the problems of the south side of Chicago. But of those of you who do work in the community, realise that the south does have significant challenges. We have areas of considerable deprivation, of several areas of longitudinal or cross-generational unemployment. We have aspiration rates among school children to go on to university, which are some of the lowest in the nation. And we are facing a massive transformation in the economy of this state, with, I think, great potential for every South Australian. But it will be jobs which are further up the food chain, if you want to use that analogy. And that means that we do need to help deliver that transformation.